Hi there. Welcome first off to the Integromat course. This is just a quick introduction and overview of everything that you can expect in the course and how it will be structured. So first off, we'll start from the basics and then sort of move into the more advanced concepts and more advanced automations, obviously. I'll share with you all of the tools, all of the resources that I do in order to kind of put together, that I use, sorry, in order to put together these automations. What you'll find very quickly is once you kind of understand the concept of how to automate something and kind of build these workflows together, it really comes down to what are the tools that you're aware of. That becomes quite a large limiting factor in terms of what you're able to automate. Seeing as we're simply integrating different tools together, it helps to be aware of a lot of different tools that are available and where to find them. As much as the course is named like an Integromat course, I would say it's more of an automation course as a whole. Just Integromat will be like the foundational platform, but I will also introduce you to some other tools, and the course will kind of cover automation as a whole. There are times when building on top of Integromat isn't always the best route to go, although I would argue 90% of the time it is. There are some other times when I will use some different alternatives or even just write out the code myself if it's going to be like super high volume data processing that we're doing, for example. So in the course, we will cover 10 different real-world automations. We'll build them out from scratch. These are all automations that have kind of genuine use cases. A lot of them will be automations that I built out before that you may have seen on my YouTube channel. So we'll be going over those as well. And I currently have 4 automations that I'm actually looking to build out myself for our team here, such as like a TikTok tracker and a TikTok targeting system, as well as an OnlyFans scraper that we will then actually turn into into a website. So I'll show you how I will go about scraping every single OnlyFans creator on the planet, which I think is quite an interesting topic as well. I will share all of the Airtable templates and Integromat blueprints with you. However, I would encourage you to kind of follow along with the videos themselves. It's not going to be that great of a learning experience simply by copying work that I've kind of done, and you're just not going to get any type of understanding on how to build things. So I would encourage you to, I know that it's going to be like an easy option there just to think to plug them in and install them. But you won't really have an understanding. Like the great thing about building out your own automations is you have a sense of ownership of them, but you also have like a real understanding of how each stage of the workflow interacts with the next, which is what makes automation and workflows kind of super customizable. So you can make any kind of customizations and adjustments that you want to fit your own requirements. And I think that will really come when you go through the stages of building out the automation yourself, because you will have a real understanding of what each different step does. And so yeah, you can customize the automation to meet your own requirements. I assume if you've bought this course, you kind of know me already, but I guess I'll just give like a brief summary of who I am. So look, I'm 27 years old. I've been an entrepreneur for the past like 9 or 10 years, even longer than that if you count selling things in my school and so on. But I've been running my own businesses for the past 9 years, I think it is now, on online companies. I first started building bots and automation. I would have been about 13 or 14 years old, and my original experience was on building bots for online games. In this particular case, it was RuneScape that I was doing. And so I would have like 10 or 20 different accounts running, doing various money-making activities in this online game. And they would generate me money in the online game, but you could actually sell money on RuneScape on this online game for real world money. So I could sell online cash for US dollars, and so that was also, I guess, considered a business. And so I would pull in about $1,000 per month at one point when I was again about 14 or 15 years old, just from these bots I had running overnight. So that was kind of my first experience with automation. Following that, I went into recruitment. And I also this was before LinkedIn automation was popular. In fact, it didn't even exist at the time. And I was able to automate my own job using LinkedIn accounts. I would have multiple accounts running. This was when there were kind of no restrictions on LinkedIn at all. So I would just be blasting out recruitment messages to software developers across Europe and the US. And I had about 4 or 5 different accounts running that would basically be appointment setters for myself. So I positioned them as they were my assistants, and I would be spamming developers, essentially getting them to book in calls for job opportunities that we had. So I was actually able to automate my entire job and bring in quite healthy amounts of commission, let's say, within my company. And of course, my boss kind of had no idea. I kind of kept it under wraps. There were a few other employees and people that I worked with that also knew what I was doing, and I would automate some stuff for them as well. I then got into like social media marketing. I ran the largest Instagram marketing agency in the world with over 150 employees, and the only way that was able to function was through automation. We just had so many different processes and systems and ways of tracking that the employees were actually doing the actions that they were required to do. We would have had like a much larger team, and it would have been much more expensive to manage if we didn't have all of the various different automations and processes in place. Now I run an OnlyFans agency, and we have various different systems in place as well, such as TikTok targeting systems for understanding what is content that is about to go viral. We have quite an interesting automation that I will share with you that then automatically sends out emails to our models, our creators, asking them, can you create these specific TikToks? Which was quite an interesting one. And again, they can submit all of that back automatically. So we built kind of like an automated experience for creators to sign up to an OnlyFans agency, but more on that later. But the greatest thing, in my opinion, about automation is that it's just applicable kind of worldwide. I have clients who will pay like $1,000 per hour, more than that I'm even able to take on, and I actually turn down quite a lot of work. And I've literally worked with everyone from a European Union incubator that was investing in startups. It was an EU-backed incubation program, through to minor startups, through to like even a major airline, just to help them kind of automate their processes. So this is just applicable. I've never seen an industry that this isn't applicable in. Any business that I go into now, you can pretty much guarantee that I'm going to find a lot of different opportunities for automation to be employed in various different aspects. And even down to my personal life, I've also automated various different parts of my personal life. Everything from such as like daily tracking, syncing over data from my Apple Watch into a dashboard that is then synced over to a Russian scientist, a Russian biologist that I pay to help me like optimize my health. And so we also track like the food that I intake, and again that's all synced over to him automatically. And the process of going through and doing all of that manually, I just can't imagine kind of how annoying and painful that would be. So again, it's just a really easy way to employ automation in your life. Or there are also things as simple as if I don't complete, I have like an evening routine. If I don't complete that, all of the lights in my office will be set to red. Just again, kind of like a reminder that I'm not following my protocol. Yeah, they're just a few little examples. So anyway, first off, as well, thank you for joining the course. I will literally be sharing absolutely everything that I know, everything that I've learned over the years of building out automations. And I genuinely hope that you will acquire these same skills, and that they will serve you as well as they have done for me. I truly believe that this is one of the most powerful kind of forms of leverage that you can have in your arsenal, because building out automation is truly a form of leverage. I'm able to have the output of 10, 20, 30 people, and it's not because I'm um, anything special. It's purely because we can see an opportunity and apply automation to it, that will mean that we don't need to hire people. So this is truly, I believe, the most powerful skill that you can have. And like I said, I truly hope it serves you as well as it has done for me.